Black women are doing much better and in much better positions than black men. And statistically speaking, we're not living. We're starting more businesses. We're getting more degrees. We're making money. Like, we're doing all of the things.
He about to shut her up, but I do have 11 other videos that we're going to react to. Pay attention to this video because this snow bunny finds out that a woman cannot have a roster of men the same way men can have a roster of women. But before we get started, you already know the drill. Hit the like button, definitely share the video, and if this is your first time watching the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Let's get to it.
Black women are doing much better and in much better positions than black men. And statistically speaking, we're not living. We're starting more businesses. We're getting more degrees. We're making money. Like, we're doing all of the things.
The most evicted in the entire United States. So all y'all with all that, I'm independent, I don't need no man, we're the smartest. No, it's not working. Because a lot of y'all run around dating your sons, not your own sons, but dating dudes, and you mommying the dudes. And next thing you know, you run around feeling good about yourself because you're dominant over the man that you're dating and he can't help you. And that's one of the reasons why y'all don't think y'all can ask for help, because every dude you date is somewhat of a loser or younger than you or some type of childish dude.
Black women.
That man just gave her the drizzle. He is absolutely right. Women date bummy dudes just so they can have power. They would even have a child with the bummy dude just so they can breadcrumb his paycheck. They can take advantage of him. And then when it comes to the guy that has value, they are intimidated by that dude. A high value man understands that when women start bragging about material things and the things they're doing, they're living check to check. Like he said, they're the most evicted. Because when they make money, they start to spend above their means. The goal for a woman, let me look like I got it so I can attract a man with it. And then I could fall back and just let him pay the bills. That's what they ultimately doing. But when a man get around to seeing that you ain't got no money and you got a low credit score, he out the door and you back around them bummy dudes to get your confidence and your power back.
Like, these women know you love your babies, they're gonna fuck them. Ooh. Yeah, once they see the deadbeats, you ever notice deadbeat niggas don't get the problems we get? The niggas that don't give a shit, they don't go through the shit we get, bro. They be the ones chasing the dude. Won't you come see your dude?
Oh yeah.
I'm the one that, man, yo, shut up. You'll never see her again. Like, I'm like, that's ironic. The deadbeat nigga won't care to ever see her again. He don't get that. The first thing, you ain't never gonna see her again. Shut click.
Daddy issues. She's used to her father not being around at a young age. She always begged for her father. During the ages of 3 through 7, that's where a child's brain is developed the most. So if that woman spent that time period of her life asking, where's my daddy? I want my daddy to be around. Then as she gets older, it's an emotion that she recognizes, which is why she's going to have a baby with a man who's not going to be around. And she's going to beg the deadbeat baby daddy to be with her or be around him. She won't put him on child support or anything because that's the way that she felt when she was a little girl for her father. This is why it's very important for a man, when you start dating a woman, stop competing with other men. The first thing that you need to do is figure out if this woman has a father in her life or not, because that will train you on how to treat certain women. If you're with a woman who does have a father in her life and he's successful, but she's not a daddy's girl, she feels like she has to prove herself to her dad, that's the kind of woman that's going to respect everything that you do. A fatherless woman is the worst type of woman to be with.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. These men that want to take you out to coffee for a first date, they don't like you. They just want to see if you'll be there so they can come back and pick you up and play with you whenever they want. All the men in the comments are gonna be like, that's not true. This is what men who want to go on coffee dates do. They want to be your pen pal. They want to reach out to you when they're feeling like they need some type of emotional connection and they need to remind themselves that they're still alive, but they don't actually want to take you seriously. They don't want to take you anywhere.
Because you're not going on a coffee date to figure out exactly what a man wants. If a man is taking you on a coffee date, that means that he has more in store and he wants to see how you act just dealing with the basics. Who actually wants to start treating a stranger with princess treatment when they may not even deserve it? Especially a man who has made himself valuable. He's going to value where he's putting all his money at. I tell men all the time, women are only as good as the last guy that she's been with. So if you get with a woman and she tell you every guy before her was a bum that treated her bad, That's her standard. She's gonna tell you, let's go to a fancy restaurant, spend some money on me. But then when you're sitting with her, she's telling you about how all the guys before her did none of that.
You know how they say keep a roster while you're dating, it helps soften the blow when somebody doesn't work out? Well, what they failed to mention is the possibility that you can end up breaking up with your entire roster in a short period of time. I didn't go through one breakup, I went through 3, back to back. I thought, like, if somebody in your roster gets dropped from the team and then you replace them, what do you do when the entire roster disappears overnight? That's not how this was supposed to work. I put so much time and energy into building my roster. Where was the warning label? This wasn't in the fine print. Not like I would have read it anyways, but...
She had a roster of thorough guys, real guys that have made themselves valuable. What she's not understanding is when a woman builds a roster of really good guys that have made themselves valuable, what happens is those guys that she built with also have women that want them. But there's a big difference. Women, when they start building up their roster of men, they treat all those guys the same as if they're low value men. When valuable men build a roster, they normally fill their roster in with women who have potentials of being wifey or girlfriend types. So when you're dating a valuable man or a man that knows his worth, once he sees that he's been breadcrumbed, and he can see that you're playing the dating game by the way you're answering the text, by the way you're shortening your answers up, and you're light with the questions and everything is sporadic, he already knows that you're dating around. So he's quickly to say, all right, I don't want to deal with you because he still has valuable women that want him. That's what happened in this situation, lady. You build a roster of really good guys that seen your game, and they all noticed it at the same time, and they left you alone. If you would have built a roster with a whole bunch of low value dudes that you didn't want, then all you would have did was just swap them out. So congratulations, you played yourself. You should have been with one of these guys. You shouldn't have been playing the game. Now you may be dealing with low value men for the rest of your life. You're only going to get a couple good guys that come towards you. And when they leave, they're gone forever.
Women initiate divorce at a higher rate than men, so that means that women are the problem. So if the women are the problem within the marriage, wouldn't that mean that the men should be the one initiating divorce at a higher rate because the woman is the problem within the relationship? But that's not what statistics are showing. So this leads me to 2 conclusions. That either means that the woman has an issue within a marriage, but she has enough strength to leave and initiate that divorce, and the man who does have a problem within a relationship, he has one, but he doesn't have the courage or strength to leave.
Because a man is leaving with nothing. He has to give up things whenever there's a divorce. But when a woman initiates the divorce, she gains at least half if he did not do a prenup, but she will gain something. It's very beneficial for a woman to leave a relationship than it is for a man. Let's just stick to the facts here.
If men don't want to be responsible for the title of failure within a marriage, then just say that. But common sense will tell you if it takes 2 people to get into a marriage, that it takes 2 people for a marriage to fail also. So it's not just solely on women.
Women gain more whenever they have their freedom, especially financially. And if they have children, then there's always Section 8, there's always food stamps, there's always a source of survival for a woman whenever she is alone. When a man is alone and he has to give up things, he has to rebuild. Most husbands that get divorced just go broke while the woman remarries and prospers. You got to realize she's leaving with a permanent paycheck if they have a child.
Why do y'all want to date men that are taller than you?
Well, darling, I shall give you the quickest and most efficient answer that I can. It is simply this. Much like you men have your standards and you prefer to date Instagram models instead of looking out for the heart and the beauty of a bigger woman, such as myself, we as women also have our preferences. And we prefer a man who resembles more of the Duke from Bridgerton and not Lord Farquaad from Shrek. Okay? We would like to wear heels and not look like your mother standing next to you. I want a man who can lift me unity in more than just prayer. The Bible says, be ye not unequally yoked, and it applies to more than just the spirit. I am 5'9", and therefore I need a man who is at least 6 feet to ride this ride. My dear boy, we have our standards, and we are allowed to do so. Good day.
No man is trying to be with a 5'9" woman, 400 pounds, who finds a way to put on heels and walk around unbalanced. He is not trying to lift that kind of weight because he is scared himself. Yes, men do have their standards, but men are way more realistic whenever it comes to their standards. They know exactly what they think is in the ball field. But women are always wanting something that they seen on TV. And by the time they wake up and realize they're not going to get it, all they do is put themselves in a whole nother delusional world that says, I'm happy being single. And then they cry when they by themselves, stroking their cat.
All I want this summer is a man that has a job, works out, is a foodie, but also likes to have fun, lives a balanced lifestyle. So he works out and he does his job and he grinds, but he also likes to go on the weekends. He likes to party. He likes to travel. He would, on a Thursday, stay in and we could order food or make food together and just relax, watch Netflix, do absolutely nothing but hang out with each other. But then the following weekend, we go out, we party, we have fun. He randomly texts me on a Tuesday and he says, get changed, be ready by 8 because I have a date planned for us. I made the reservation and everything and I'll be picking you up right at 8, so be ready outside your apartment. Where is that man? Because I've been looking for a man for that for this summer and I can't find them. And there's a lot of men in New York, okay, and I can't find him. But I also want him to look at me every single day and think that he won the lottery with me. So let's add that in there.
He's a fictional character inside of your head. That's why he doesn't exist. You want him to be too perfect. You want him to be exactly how you just described it. It doesn't work like that. Everybody has their own reality. That's the difference between a man and a woman. A woman actually believes these fictional characters are going to walk into her life and that it's easier for her to get. And she's basing that off the fact that there's 100 guys in her DMs that she don't want, that's giving her the confidence to fictionalize this guy that she wants to fall in love with. This is the whole point of Red Pill. And we've placed these type of women in power. Now we have a chaotic world.
Stop asking me to respect you like a man when you do nothing manly like, when there's no masculinity in you, when all you do is complain and think off emotion, when all you do is talk instead of guiding, when all you do is talk and complain instead of leading. Stop asking me to respect you when there is no ways in you, no character traits of a man as a man. Stop asking me to respect you when all you do is act like a woman. I can't respect a man who's screaming out respect me as a man when all his ways is feminine. I can't do it. I can't be submissive to a feminine man. I can't be submissive to a man who don't know when trash day is. I cannot be submissive to a man who doesn't know how to lead. And I can't be submissive to a man that is not God-fearing.
And a woman would determine all of this within the first 3 minutes of meeting you. They don't even want to take the time out to get to know who you are. They want to know at the beginning, he has an attitude with me. He's acting very combative. They want it to be a fight for control in order for them to respect you. But modern day men is kind of like, listen, why can't this be a little simpler getting to know each other? Why does it always have to deal with animosity? Why do I have to train you like a stallion before you break and submit to be feminine? That's the problem, ladies. You want to psychologically and emotionally be broken as soon as you meet a man in order for you to respect him.
I always assume that men want to be providers.
We're told to be providers. That's the performance.
Wow.
And I'll complicate that a little further. I think there are a lot of men who do enjoy providing. Mm-hmm. Providing materially, providing emotionally, providing spiritually. The issue is that is often not reciprocated.
Right. I would agree.
So if I show up for you and I'm constantly providing for you and I enjoy doing that, that becomes part of my identity. After a while, if that's never reciprocated, I'm going to feel like you're just taking from me and not pouring into me in any way.
Straight facts. A man wants to be a provider, but he also wants a woman to love him back. You got to at least play the part. Women don't even want to play the part. All they do is just keep asking for more, asking for more. The man keeps giving him more. He sits back and he's like, you know what? The more I spend on you, the more I try to make you happy, the more you just give me a headache. So men are learning from other men and their own situations, not to put all their eggs in one basket financially.
If your husband listened to everything you told him to do, he wouldn't be your husband. He would be your child. You see, there's a big difference between parenting and partnering. And marriage is supposed to be an opportunity for two people to come together with their own ideas, their own opinions, and challenges that you guys get to work through in deciding what is best for the both of you to continue growing and moving forward together. But your controlling spirit will trick you into believing that by you being in control and dictating what happens and when and how, that you will just feel better, that things will just be more efficient that way. But what I want to remind you of is that your controlling spirit is only an opportunity for you to lose yourself, build up a whole bunch of resentment, and eventually burn out. You understand? If your husband...
Controlling is a fast way for a woman to get everything around her gone. No one wants to be around a controlling woman because it reminds you of a narcissist man.
I got an issue with my wife. When we first got married, I was the breadwinner of the household, and I'm not saying I pay all the bills, but I could tell you this, the majority of the expenses I could handle. Over the past 4 years, jobs slowed up for me, and I'm not getting as many contracts as I used to. My wife has become a person to bring in the majority of the income. I'm not an insecure man that feels like I have to make more money than my woman, but I understand why men feel the way that they do now. Everything that my wife does financially for me, it seems like she throws it in my face. My work truck broke down. She got a note in her name for a new truck. When the mortgage money got tight and she had to cover the whole thing, she threw the shit in my face. Kids' birthday parties, different events that come up for the kids, everything when my funds are low and I can't afford to pay it, she pays it, but it's like I never hear the end of it. This is no way for me to live. I had a conversation with her about it, telling her how it made me feel, but she can't control herself. It's starting to make me feel like I want a divorce, and I'd much rather be alone through the struggle because I know that I'm going to get back on my feet should I be out.
You got to be out. Because when they start treating you like that, they've already lost respect for you. The only way that you're going to get the respect back is to buy it off of her. If your woman cannot take your back whenever you hit rock bottom and give you the encourage to get back up and cause you to go out to be the best version of yourself, then she's emotionally slow and you. Then emotionally, she's holding you down. Then emotionally, she's slowing you down and she's not holding you down. Holding you down is when she's like, come on, babe, we're going to get you another job. You can do it. She starts giving you the confidence. Study Conor McGregor. That's what his wife did when he hit rock bottom. And look how rich it made him.
Is it wrong for a female to accept gifts or money from a guy that she does not see herself with?
Yes and no. If she doesn't see herself with him and she knows that he's trying to date her and potentially be a girlfriend, yes, it's wrong. But if this is just a guy who's tricking, he may have other girls and he may want her as a side chick and he giving her gifts to shut up, yes. Or he's giving her gifts to get the cookie and that's it, yes. But it's wrong if this guy is looking for a relationship. But if they just clapping cheeks, it's okay with me.
Say it again. You can take a picture, yes. Say it again. Say it again. He said girls. Hold on. Over here, women don't pay for anything. They drive, they pay. We love y'all. I don't want to take a picture. Want me to scoot the chair? No? Oh, okay. Oh, just her? You? He got us drinks, you know, he's driving us around, you know, we meeting his friends. They say we don't pay for them. Come to he put the song on us. Say it again.
Them guys are trying to clap some cheeks, but you can't use them as an example what the average man is supposed to do because they technically playing for the cookie. A man ain't trying to pay for the cookie no more, sweetheart.